Well, I'm wearing my MorRyde shirt for a reason. Today we are doing an install of the MorRyde Safety Rail, and we picked this up while we were at Quartzsite as well. I did do a little bit of research through MorRyde on what to do for this, so there's a few things that we need to cover and some things you should know before you get started, and we'll get to it right after this. So if you're not sure what the safety rail is, it's going to replace the basic handrail that comes on all RVs. These things are fairly short, and if you're trying to walk up all these stairs, you have to go up a few stairs before you can even grab onto it. So that has been the issue. I can reach this thing, but Dawn has a little trouble getting to this thing. So the safety rail is really going to be a great addition. There's a few things you need to watch out for first. First of all, you want to make sure you do have a flat surface that it's going to be going against. Ours is a flat surface. If you have the corrugated 10, it might not work. I would suggest do a little bit more research to find out what you'd have to do for that. Also, we have this molding that goes across, and we're going to have to cut into that. So if you don't have the proper tools to cut a section of this away, I'd say hold off the installation until you get all the tools ready to go. But it's actually going to come down, and then there'll be a bracket that goes below here. The tools that I am going to be using today, I have my Chicago Electric Harbor Freight all-purpose oscillating tool. So I have it set up with a cutting blade on it now, so I'll be using that to cut away that piece. I will need a scraper to kind of clean up some of the side here. I'm going to need some silicone caulk, or in my case, I'm planning on using clear Flex Seal. That has worked really great around the rig. The fact that it dries as a rubber, it definitely works great, because then it's not going to get shook loose if it dries too hard. So we're going to be using that to seal things up. And just a couple of other basic tools, such as a power screwdriver and drill, pliers, wrenches, things of that nature, things you should already have around. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into it right now. Step one, we're going to go ahead and pull the old handrail off. And next, we want to make sure there's no debris or anything around here that's going to get hung up. This actually feels pretty good. The factory install was pretty clean. I'm going to just clean it up a little bit more, get some of the mess off of there. So the next step is to hold the bracket up and make sure that it's going to cover properly, and mark the spot where you need to cut the molding off in order for this thing to fit in. Yeah, that should be good. I'm going to be covering part of this decal up, so I'm thinking I'm just going to pull it off, and I'm going to try to find out if I can't get another one from Keystone to replace it, to put over on this side. But we're going to go ahead and pull that off right now. I'm going to double measure to make sure that this is wide enough, and then we're going to go ahead to the next step. Yep, it's going to be perfect. I'm going to use a little bit of Goo Gone just to get rid of that, so we'll be right back. The next step in MorRyde wants you to actually use the caulk to fill in these holes of the pre-existing handrail. Then it has you drill a pilot hole, and then it has you fill that one as well. I'm going to go ahead and drill the pilot hole first, and then fill all the holes, and then go ahead and continue to install the safety rail. Now I just need to drill the rest of the pilot holes and fill those in with putty and drill those closed. So that basic part of the installation is done. It comes with 2 upper brackets. The difference between these 2 upper brackets, it depends on how tall this is, if it will cover the existing holes of the pre-existing handrail. So let's go ahead and drill the holes for this and fill those in with the seal and finish this thing up. The last step is to pull this bolt with the washers out and attach it to that part of the frame that I just added. So let's get that one taken care of. All right, so that is the basic installation. Let's see what this looks like when it gets pulled out. So that's basically it. We now have the safety rail. There's a huge magnet that keeps it attached to the side of the rig. So to put it up, you just slide this part up, locks in, and we got a carter pin that's down below here to lock it into place when you travel. But other than rattling, that's not going to come out. So once again, pulling it out. So that is the MorRyde Safety Rail. Now we do have one other device by MorRyde. We're going to have a little bonus feature in this one. We're going to show you that next. So the other MorRyde device we picked up was the MorRyde Cord Keeper. No tools necessary, and we'll get to that right now to show you what this little thing does. So I have to admit, the hardest part about the install of this is getting this device out of the shrink wrap. So let's go ahead and show you what this does. It's a magnet that holds this to your pin box, and it allows you to roll this up and not have to keep shoving it in this little hole. Yeah, you can keep shoving it in the hole, that's fine, but it wasn't that expensive and it was a great idea. We picked it up for our 5th wheel, and I think this is going to come in very handy this summer during summer travels. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. Make sure that you hit that subscription button, hit the thumbs up for good measure, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Let you know when we post every Sunday at 2. And until next time, we will see you on the road, and hopefully not falling down the stairs. Sorry, Don.